Hey there, navigators. Welcome back to What I Learned in College. My name is Sarah Luna, and today I'm going to walk you through the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA, for the 2026-2027 school year. And while I'm walking you through the FAFSA form, I'm also going to show you what's new about this year's FAFSA, as well as some common pitfalls that you want to avoid. Make sure you pay attention. Grab your laptop, your iPad, or whatever you like to use to fill out your FAFSA form, and let's get started. First things first, you're going to need an FSA ID, which is your username and password to fill out the FAFSA. If you don't already have one of these from years prior, go ahead and create an account. You can do so right here. So whether you're a student, parent, or borrower, it says you'll need to create your own account to apply for, receive, and manage your federal student aid. So this means parents and spouses need to also create an FSA ID to contribute to this FAFSA. So something that I would like to highlight before we move forward is the fact that for 2026-2027, identity verification for your FSA ID can now be done in real time if you have a valid Social Security number. That means no more waiting for days on end to receive your confirmation to use your FSA ID. Whenever you are ready, go ahead and click on Start New Form. Welcome to the FAFSA form. I'm starting the FAFSA form as a student. However, if you are a parent and you're watching this, feel free to start as a parent. Now, something I want to highlight before we continue, I was an independent student for all of my years in college, so I can only speak for myself and my, experiences filling out the FAFSA. So I will be continuing this as a student. If you need more resources as a parent or as a contributor, then I would suggest you do, a simple Google search to try and find out the answers to your questions. Or if you leave a comment, I may or may not know how to answer, but I will do the best I can if I have any expertise in the area that you're asking about. So comment away. So once you've selected the role that you will be starting the FAFSA form as, go ahead and click Continue. So you'll be asked to confirm some personal information. Then you'll click Continue after you confirm that, such as your name, address, contact info, so on and so forth. And then you'll be at this screen, Student State of Residence. Usually this is the state where the student lives while not attending school. And this question is asked for residency purposes, for the rate of tuition. So here is some more information about selecting your state of residence. Of course, if you're temporarily living in a state for the sole purpose of attending school, don't select that state as your state of residence. And you can read a little bit more about what you need to do if this applies to you. Okay, then you'll enter your state and the date that you became a resident and hit Continue. After you do that, you'll end up at this screen. So this page is to provide consent and approval. Make sure you read through this, right? Because it's very important that you know exactly what you're signing. It's always a good idea to do that anyway, but I just wanted to go ahead and highlight the fact that this is a little bit long. However, it's very important that you read over it and understand it before you approve. So if you're ready to approve, you can go ahead and click Approve. So once the information is securely imported, you should receive this success message. So once you get that, you can go ahead and click Continue. Next is your personal circumstances. So here, the FAFSA will ask questions that will help determine your eligibility for federal student aid, as it says here. So whatever you answer here will affect the types of aid that you are eligible to receive. So go ahead and continue, and then it's going to ask for the student's current marital status. Once you select your marital status, you can go ahead and click Continue. Now here's the student college or career school plans page. This plans page basically just wants to know what college grade level you'll be when you begin the 2026-2027 school year. So if this is your first school year for college, of course, you're going to want to select freshman, but you'll select whatever applies to you. I'm going to go ahead and select master's. Also, will the student be pursuing an initial teaching certification at the elementary or secondary level? And if so, yes. If no, press no. And then go ahead and click continue. This screen is all about student personal circumstances. If any of these apply to you, you can read through these. Of course, select them. If none of these apply, you would select none of these apply and click continue. This question asks, at any time on or after July 1st, 2025, was the student unaccompanied and either 1, homeless, or 2, self-supporting and at risk of being homeless? So if anything like this applies, go ahead and click yes. If not, click no and click continue. Okay, so based on my answers, of course, I am an independent student. So if you're an independent student as well, this means you don't need to answer financial questions about your parents or anything like that to complete the FAFSA. Now, if you're a dependent student, the next questions that are asked may be different. Make sure you use other resources and consult a financial advisor if necessary. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and click continue. Here they're going to ask some student demographical questions about background and family. So go ahead and click continue. It does say that these questions are used for research purposes only, so they do not affect federal student age eligibility. So make sure you note that. And so we'll select the student sex, gender, continue. We'll select the student's race and or ethnicity. So you'll select what applies and then you will click continue. Here is the student citizenship status question. So whatever applies here, click that and then click continue. Alrighty, now here is the parent education status question. Did either of the student's parents attend college or complete college? So if neither parent attended college, you'd click that. One or both parents attended college, you'd click that, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one and click continue. This is the student high school completion status question, and whatever your high school completion status will be at the beginning of the 2026-2027 school year, that's what you're going to want to select, and then click continue. And then you'll put in whatever high school you graduated from. If you haven't graduated yet, put in the high school that you will graduate from. Once you confirm your high school information, you'll have to select it from a drop-down search bar, and then you'll click continue. Okay, so here in this section is where the FAFSA form will ask about your finances. Remember, this uses your 2024 tax return, since the FAFSA now works off of prior year income. Okay, so this is the federal benefits received page. If you, at any time during 2024 or 2025, if you received benefits from federal programs, such as, free or reduced price school lunch or any of these in this list, then you would want to go ahead and select those and then scroll down and click continue. And this is a question about your family size. If your family size is different now than what it was when you filed your 2024 taxes, then you're going to want to answer this one accordingly. When you've answered it, you will click continue. Now, this is the number of students that will be in college in the student's family, including the student. So if it's just you, then you're going to want to put 1. However, if you're with, like a spouse that's going to school as well, that's just one example of when you would answer more than one. But you would just answer whatever applies to you and then click continue. Now it's going to ask about your student 2024 tax return information, and if you received the earned income credit. So if you received that, you would click yes, and then you would go ahead and put in how many grants and scholarships you may or may not have received. You're going to want to read through this before you answer. If it's 0, then, you put 0. The most common answer is 0, but of course I can't tell you what exactly to put because it just varies by your situation and varies by the individual. So you would just put whatever that is here, and then whatever you have here, if anything, and then click continue. Here's the fun part, guys. This is where you get to select your colleges and or career schools that you are choosing to apply for. So you can add up to 20 colleges at once to this form. Now, the order usually doesn't affect your financial aid, but some states and schools may prefer to use the order for processing. If in doubt, you're going to want to put your top choice school as first. So go ahead and click continue. Okay, and then it's going to ask where should we send the FAFSA information. Add at least one college or career school now. So I'm going to enter my school state first, and then it's going to ask you more information after you enter that. Once you have all that filled out, you'll click continue here. If you need to enter by school code, you would go to this one right here and put in the federal school code for your top choice schools. Once you've entered all this information, click continue for the next part. We are almost done, guys. This is where you continue to sign your form. So here's a brief summary of all the information that you have provided on this FAFSA form. You continue once you're ready to submit. So I highly suggest reviewing all of your answers. The way you would do that, now I'm not going to do it here, to protect my personal information, but you would go and you would click on these arrows to the right, section 1, section 2, and so on and so forth, expand, double check, and when you're ready, you would click continue. So now, here is where we sign and submit the FAFSA form. You are signing a legal document, right, electronically when you do this, okay? So make sure you understand the implications of signing a legal document. You're going to want to read through all of this before you sign this, okay? Because when you click here, you're literally saying that you agree to the terms that are outlined in this part. So don't skip over this, guys. You're going to want to read it, okay? So once you're done, if you want to agree, you would click there. All right, after you sign and submit with that little button, it's going to give you this awesome screen right here. Congratulations, the FAFSA form is complete. So now I would like to talk about Student Aid Index. So as mentioned before, Student Aid Index is what replaces the old Expected Family Contribution, or EFC calculation. The lower the number is, then the less that you are expected to contribute to your own financial aid journey. This lower number generally means that you qualify for more need-based aid. Also, your schools will use this SAI number plus their own cost of attendance to build your financial aid package. You're going to get those offers directly from your school. So be on the lookout for contact from them either by mail, by email, however the institution prefers to reach out. And based on the eligibility criteria, you will or will not qualify for Pell Grants, other things like scholarships, institutional grants, work study programs. There's multitudes of types of aid out there. And this is why you want to make sure you fill out your FAFSA accurately, because this will determine your eligibility. After you sign and submit your FAFSA, you will receive an email version of this confirmation page at the email address that you have on file. And then 1 to 3 days after that, right, your FAFSA form is going to be processed and made available to your schools. So if you want to check the status of your form at any time, you can log in to studentaid.gov and select your FAFSA submission from the My Activity section of your account dashboard. Also, as mentioned before, you will be receiving school communications directly from your institution. If you have questions about anything to do with your financial aid package, you're going to want to contact your target schools. Make sure you contact the financial aid offices. Let them know that you would like to inquire about your financial aid offers. Remember, file as soon as possible. The longer you wait, the less chance you have of getting an ideal financial aid package. So file ASAP. The early bird gets the worm, as the old saying goes, right? So make sure that you file as soon as you can to maximize your chances of getting your ideal financial aid package. So in the meantime, if your family situation ends up changing, while you're waiting for your FAFSA to process, like a job loss happens or family size changes or anything like that, make sure you talk to your financial aid office about professional appeals. And if you found this video helpful today, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more college success tips. In the meantime, go ahead and check out the video that's to my left. You're not going to want to miss out on this awesome information.